If you want to know how to create this very simple but classy card, then stay tuned and I will show you exactly how it works. Hi, here's Max and today we are going to do a simple and quick card. We start with a standard card and cut a beige panel that is 1/4 inch smaller on each side than the card base. I will now be using a Fiskars texture plate to create an embossed flower background. So we take the magnetic platform with a cutting plate and place the texture plate with the panel on top. Then we cover it with an embossing mat and completing the sandwich with the other cutting plate before running it through the big shot. And back again. And so we created a wonderful flower pattern on our panel. The dies that we are using today are very intricate and unfortunately the paper often sticks to them very tight. But there is a little trick that makes it much easier to get the cuts out again. We are running the dies through the machine first only with a dryer sheet to get the smooth dryer stuff onto the surface of the dies. Next we are putting the paper onto the dryer sheet and cutting it with the coated dies. And as you can see, the die cuts stick to the dryer sheet instead of the dies and can be easily pulled off. Pieces that still stick to the die cuts can be pushed out very easily as well. That saves a lot of time compared to the fuddling and piercing that you usually have to do when using intricate dies. The dryer sheet itself will not be cut completely and you can use it several times. And so I'm using it again for cutting the second border out of the brown cardstock. Both dies are by Stampin' Up and the butterfly comes with its little brother that I'm now going to use. I'm cutting it out of silver cardstock, which is actually, don't laugh, from a box of chocolate marshmallows. For the sentiment, I'm once again using the stamp set Balloon Bash by Stampin' Up. I love this stamp set, although it's already discontinued. I'm stamping it with Versamark Watermark ink onto brown cardstock. Afterwards I'm covering it with silver embossing powder by Ranger and putting the rest back into the box. In case there is some excess powder in places it shouldn't be, you can easily wipe it off with a smooth brush. Be sure to have your heat gun hot and ready to avoid the paper from curling too much and heat set the powder. Unfortunately, there are no matching dies for this stamp set, but fussy cutting is not very complicated. Rather move the paper than the scissors and you will get a better result than the other way round. And here we have all the bits and pieces that we now have to mount onto the card base. First I'm adhering some laced ribbon onto the upper and lower edges. Depending on the ribbon, you can either use liquid glue or double-sided tape. Next I'm mounting the paper border onto the laced ribbon also by using liquid glue. That gives me some time to move it around a little bit to find the correct position. I'm not cutting the excess of both borders at the same point, but in different steps. This keeps the edges from getting too thick when I'm wrapping them around the panel. Now we are mounting the butterfly onto its smaller brother by using some foam tape. The sentiment goes into the lower right corner, and it's also popping up a little bit by using some foam tape as well. The silver one we are simply sticking down with liquid glue onto the panel. And the same we are doing with the panel, so that the panel is also popping up from the card base. And while doing this, we fix the edges of the borders additionally with the foam tape. And now it's time for some additional embellishments. I'm using self-sticking jewels on the body of the butterfly as well as wherever they fit on the wings. Then I'm using some wink of Stella clear glitter pen on the wings and the sentiment. And as usual, here are some close-ups to show you all the stuff that the camera is eating up. And this concludes the card for today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked what you saw, then I would be pleased to get a thumbs up. If this is your first time here on Color Your Life, then I would love to have you subscribe, because there is something to discover every week that might also bring some color into your life. You can see here my most recent card videos. And for those of you who are watching on a mobile device, the links will pop up now in the info card. And I will additionally link them in the description box below this video. And I would also love to get some comments or suggestions from you, so just use the comments field. And that's it. Many thanks again, have a nice week and hope to see you soon. Bye bye!